In 2013, the FBI held a press conference in Boston to announce that after 23 years, they had finally identified the individuals behind the largest property theft in world history. But the announcement came with a massive caveat. The suspects the agency named were already dead, and the $500 million in stolen art was still missing. It created a bizarre impasse. The FBI believed they had solved the identity of the thieves, yet 35 years after the crime, not a single piece of evidence has been recovered. The case shifted from a search for suspects to a search for a hidden collection, masterpieces that have outlived the men who took them. The trail began at 1:24 a.m. on March 18, 1990, outside the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, just as the city's St. Patrick's Day celebrations were winding down. Two men in police uniforms buzzed the side entrance, claiming to be investigating a disturbance. The night guard, Rick Abbott, opened the door, a decision that violated museum policy, and effectively handed them the building. Within minutes, the intruders handcuffed both security guards, wrapped their eyes in duct tape, and chained them to pipes in the museum's basement. For the next 81 minutes, the thieves moved through the galleries unchallenged. They followed a specific path, moving with a clinical pace. Most professional robberies take minutes, but these men stayed over an hour. No alarm was triggered, and no authorities were alerted. The museum's security wasn't defeated by advanced technology or brute force. It was bypassed through a fake uniform and a breach of protocol. When staff arrived the next morning to discover the empty frames, the investigation turned to the strange logic of what the thieves chose to carry out of the building. They left behind Titian's The Rape of Europa, a painting valued at over $100 million and widely considered the most important work in the museum. They walked past that masterpiece to steal a small bronze beaker and a metal eagle finial from the top of this Napoleonic flag, items with a fraction of the Titian's value. The thieves didn't unscrew the frames from the walls. Instead, they used box cutters and simply slashed the art directly out of the canvases. The most significant loss was Rembrandt's The Storm on the Sea of Galilee, which remains the only known seascape ever painted by the artist. They also took Vermeer's The Concert. With only 34 known Vermeers in existence, the painting is too recognizable to be sold through traditional criminal channels. This pattern of ignoring the most expensive works in favor of specific, less valuable objects suggests that thieves were following a shopping list for a specific buyer. The FBI's search for that buyer led them directly into the organized crime circles of 1990s Boston. Investigators focused on mobster Robert Gentile and the crew of Carmelo Merlino, believing these associates were the most likely orchestrators of the robbery. During a polygraph test, Gentile claimed a mob associate stored a stolen Rembrandt etching in her bra, a claim that contributed to his failing the test. But the investigation hit a violent wall. Within a year of the heist, several individuals suspected of involvement in the heist were murdered. Questions also remained about the night guard, Rick Abbott. Authorities investigated whether his breach of protocol was a simple mistake or an inside job, but Abbott died in 2024 without ever being charged. As the suspects died, the trail for the paintings froze. The art was now isolated in a criminal underworld, where any potential witnesses were being silenced. Years later, the FBI followed leads that the art had moved into Connecticut and Philadelphia, leading to negotiations with an antiques dealer named William Youngworth. Youngworth provided a paint chip for analysis. Testing showed the chemical composition matched the era and pigments found in Vermeer's work. Despite this evidence, negotiations broke down over immunity agreements. Youngworth stopped talking, and the lead once again disappeared. The passage of time is now the greatest threat. These 17th century oil paintings require climate control to survive, and there is a high probability they are deteriorating in unmonitored storage or were destroyed to hide evidence. The mystery always leads back to the museum itself and the woman who established it. Isabella Stewart Gardner designed every inch of the collection to remain exactly as she left it. Her will contains a permanent legal mandate. Nothing in the museum can ever be moved, replaced, or rearranged. This results in the museum's most striking visual. The frames that once held the stolen masterpieces remain on the walls, empty, because the law forbids anything else taking their place. There is currently a standing $10 million reward and a promise from federal prosecutors that anyone who returns the works will not face charges. After 35 years, the Gardner heist remains an unsolved tragedy, a $500 million theft where the empty frames serve as a permanent record of what was lost.